FHA. Just kidding. Only FHA loans could warrant such an introduction. So I want to just briefly tell you just some highlights on FHA loans for those that aren't familiar with them. FHA loans, the reason why we choose FHA loans, number one is the low down payment. 3.5% is the minimum down payment required on FHA loans. It can be a gift as well. So where conventional, you have to have 5% of your own funds. FHA, 3.5%, it can be a gift. All right. Non-occupying co-borrowers. You can have a parent, a cousin, or anyone else co-sign on the mortgage to help with support income. So if you have somebody that's trying to buy a house and they just can't afford it right now, maybe they're in school, maybe they're just starting in their career, a parent or someone can co-sign with them, go on the loan. The advantage of that is it allows them to still only have to do 3.5% down, as well as they get market interest rates. So versus if they bought it as investment property, you're talking 20% down and 3/8 to half a point higher in interest rate. All right. FHA upfront mortgage insurance, the upfront fee has been reduced to 1%, and the monthly though has increased to 0.9%. All right. FHA loans, keep this in mind. All right, let's talk about shadow inventory. If you've been reading the paper, if you've been watching the news, you've probably heard this term. But do we know what shadow inventory actually is? All right, shadow inventory is defined by loans that are currently at least 90 days late, so severely delinquent, loans that are in the process of foreclosure, or loans that are already turned over and owned by the bank currently. All right. The problem is with all these properties coming down the pipeline, once they do come and hit the market, they are going to negatively affect supply and demand. All right. Why are the banks holding on to these properties? The reason number one is just sheer volume. 2.9 million households received some sort of foreclosure notice in 2010. All right, the second thing is just delays with attempts to modify. So the banks are trying to work with the consumers. They are trying to help them keep them in their houses. And the third is just the banks do need to maintain a healthy balance sheet. All right, and they're also trying to hold some of it back. They don't want to flood the market with foreclosures and further depress values. Right now, currently, Atlanta is ranked among the nation in the top 5 as far as volume of shadow inventory. All right, not a great statistic, not at the top of any list that you want to be on. How can we spin this positively, though? One, sellers. Now is the time for your sellers to be very aggressive in selling their house. All right, robot signing. If you're familiar with that term, some of the lenders have had trouble. They've hired different companies to manage their foreclosures, to do all the paperwork, etc. And a lot of it wasn't handled correctly. So a lot of these things are being audited. A lot of the companies have placed moratoriums on their foreclosures just to make sure they're doing everything correctly. So this has kind of held back a lot of the inventory that we were seeing a lot of last year. So once this is all cleared up, we're probably going to see a flood of this shadow inventory hit the market later on in the year. So we might see values go down. So again, now is the best time for somebody to sell their house. They need to be aggressive because they're going to get more money now than they very well might by the end of this year. Oh, hey, I'm just getting ready for Valentine's Day. Big day on Monday. A lot of people will be celebrating Valentine's Day over the weekend. All right, several events going on. Probably the biggest of the weekend is the Monster Truck Rally. So head on down to Atlanta, go to the Monster Truck Rally. Also in downtown is the Oyster Fest, which is at Park Tavern. That's on Piedmont Park at 1 o'clock. If you want something a little more romantic, you can go to the High Museum, Valentine's Day at the High. They'll be celebrating the French culture. All right. More locally, we've got Artworks on the Square where you can actually go on Monday night from 7 to 9 and do your own painting, and they'll have desserts and you can hang out and be all romantic. Twilight Theater will have a Valentine's Day play as well, so look that up. Movies to go see. If you're looking for a movie, just go with it. With Adam Sandler is now out this weekend, as well as No Strings Attached with Ashton Kutcher, I think it is. So a couple of movies if you're looking to go. Restaurants, so if you're looking for some good restaurants for the area to spend Valentine's Day. In Fayetteville, you've got City Cafe and Bakery. Peachtree City, you got Pascal's. Founders in Sonoya. Grill 1904 in Noonan has its own Valentine's Day menu, so make sure you make reservations. The Georgia Shrimp Company, I know they've got music as well as a Valentine's Day menu, so that'll be a good option as well. And Coweta Club and Grill has a Valentine's Day menu. So Clark Howard said, be personal and hand deliver your Valentine for this year. So just so you know, he likes to save money, but we can spend that as being more personal by delivering those flowers versus paying for the delivery. So hope you have a great weekend. Keep in mind, if you're working this weekend, so am I.